Here you go, folks. Review show for week number 7. Sorry about being a little late. Done some overtime this week. Couldn't get out of bed. First game's up. Thunder Buddies. Top scorer of the week. 171 points. Great scoring, Rob. Played the Dogs Bollocks. Kicked his ass. Bastard. Dogs Bollocks had performances from Griffin, Lynch, Morris, and Dallas's defense, and everybody else shit the bed. But I did have Green sitting on the bench again. He managed to get me 17 points. Wouldn't have helped me in this game, though. Thunder Buddies, Chris Johnson 32 points, Vincent Jackson 31 points, Marshall 17, Nelson 22, pretty much wide receivers kicking my butt, and like I said, he hung, drawn and quartered me, so well done. My other game, Dogs Bollocks was Nash's Titan. Curtis had 137.2 points, which is good for 5th best of the week. I had the 11th best score at 93. He got nothing from his running backs, so what? Because his wide receivers, Cruz is 22, Cobb 28, Gronkowski's tight end 22. So it was death by wide receiver from both sides for me, so I was put to the sword. Nash's other game was against Underdog, and this was a real nail biter. 137.2 to 137.3. It all came down to the last minute. Andy Dalton threw an interception, and that was it, minus the points, and that was enough to get the win. So well done, Larry. It could have been more. He had close to the end of the week with Nash, and Larry, of course, had Bradshaw, Foster, and Martin, all these running backs. So I guess you can have running backs beat wide receivers if you've got the right ones. Unfortunately, I guess I didn't, and Larry did. So well done, Larry. Unfortunately, Larry's other game was against Thunder Buddies, 171, and well, that pretty much says it all. Rob's got another 2 victories, and he's climbing up the charts. Well done, Rob. Pork Chops is up next against Punch Out. It's another ding-dong battle. Pork Chops had the 3rd highest score of the week with 140 points. Punch Out, Matt had 147 points, 2nd highest score of the week. And the 50%ers were outperformed by Breeze and Freeman. So I don't know where Freeman came from, but great pickup, Matt, and did a great job. Apart from his 50%ers, Freddie Jackson 22. And then all of his no-name wide receivers got 13 points, which is pretty good going. So he ended up, like I said, with a decent score, but it wasn't enough to beat Punch Out. 147 points, great score from Matt. Breeze and Freeman, like I say, the dynamic duo. He had Gore, Moore, Johnson, Harvin, Miller. Everybody was chipping him with points, and he only shit the bed on a couple of picks. D'Angelo Williams, Gresham, and the Bills' defense. And he did leave Santana Moss on the bench with 18 points, but all in all, good performance. His other game of the week was against Haggis. All I can say about Haggis is I would have totally dominated Haggis with my 93 points to his 87. But unfortunately, I didn't get the luck of playing him this week. So well done to you guys who did. So, yep, he did get his ass kicked. Lowest score of the week. It was pretty horrible. He got a great performance from his kicker. That says a lot. Spiller, Sproles, and Austin chipped in with some points. Everybody else after that was horrible. Haggis' other game of the week, G.I. Joe, 96 points, 10th best score of the week. And as we said, 96 points. Joe could have actually left his kicker completely on the bench and still have got the victory. So that says a lot, Haggis. Like I said, G.I. Joe, not really a great score. He didn't really have his best performances. He was affected by the bye weeks, but I mean, Dyer, Welker, and the Bears again. I mean, the Bears every week chip in with at least 20 points, so he's getting great performance from there, so I guess he'll keep on riding them. His other game of the week was against Pork Chops, and as I've already mentioned, Pork Chops had a great score, 140 points, so he kicked ass. And like I say, easy pickings for the 50%ers, and I'd just like to mention to him, how's that trade looking right now? But that's a separate story. We'll talk about it later, Mark. Next group of teams up. Deadheads. People who aren't familiar with this team. This is French Army. Old French Army. So Mark decided to have a name change to change things up, and he may have succeeded this week. He had the 8th best score of the week with 120 points. He had steady performance from both of his quarterbacks. Andre Johnson, Greg Little finally chipped in with performance, 14 points. Crosby's kicker had 14 points. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that, as I've said, I know that your mother probably told you the same thing, but never leave home without them. But I think you can leave the condoms on the bench. I think that might help your team. You know who I'm talking about. He was playing Bada Bing with 130 points, so the battle of the brother-in-laws. Bada Bing came out on top. The horseshoe is firmly in place, as mentioned. Peterson had 22, Colston 16, Brown 14, Arizona 18. And who's this Rashad Jennings on the bench? My God, Rob, yet again you have crapped the bed and came out smelling like roses. So Rob has now got another running back and he's laughing all over his face about that. So good for you, Rob. His other game of the week was another squeaker. It was against Scorpions. 127 points from Scorpions, 7th best score of the week. So 6, 7 and 8 were all playing against each other. And again, it came down to some last players. Bada Bing got just enough out of Stafford and Johnson at the end of the week there to do the job. Scorpions got good performance out of Ryan Fitzpatrick, LaRod Stephen Howlands with 22. I couldn't believe that one. And Houston's defense at 30 points was another great score, but apart from that, disappointing from the rest of his squad. But like I said, bye weeks were probably affecting that team as well. Scorpions' other game was against TT, Tenacious T, Chris to some people. Chris had 101 points, best for 9. That's 9th best of the week. He did make it into triple figures, so let's hear it for that. He had Palmer, who had a great game, 19 points. Matt Forte with 12. After that, it kind of fizzles out. But like I said, he kind of let me down this week because I did pick him to get off the schneid with his 6-game losing streak and beat French Army, or Deadheads as it is, but unfortunately he wasn't able to perform that out, as his other game this week was against French Army, or Deadheads, who had 120th, and that was good enough to beat him. And like I said, Mark has now got a victory, and maybe that's the turnaround from him, and it'll be a run of wins. Okay, well that ends the review show for this week. Sorry again for the late turnout, but we'll see what happens later in the week, and we'll get the preview show on the way. Alright, thanks guys.